All right, we are at CMC Rocks, the Dusty Boots podcast, and we have Abbie Ferris.
Hello.
Thank you. It's nice and warm here, isn't it? We've got our little comfort in here with the aircon going.
I know, I might just staying here forever.
Yeah. You sung with James Johnson at the Kicks Live in Tamworth.
Yes, I did.
How
That
was
was an
that?
amazing show. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some other incredible lineup too there as well. So it
Yep.
was great to be
Yeah.
part of all that. Yeah.
We had James on for a chat and we went and watched him at Kitmore as well. He opened up.
He's
a
great.
really good fella.
Yeah.
Is that something that you really enjoyed doing?
Oh my goodness, it was a great way to start the year.
Yeah. Kick the year off with a bang straight away.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Was that sort of a goal or something to play like with an artist like that, or was it just sort of like you just play with who you sort of play with? Or is
Oh,
there...
of course I want to play with good artists.
Yeah. Don't want to sing with you, Bill.
Yeah, of course. No, and to be on that stage in the park at Tamworth, I mean, you're never going to get tired of that. That was an incredible
You can never get tired of
experience.
Tamworth, I don't think.
No. You can get tired at Tamworth
Yeah.
if you go too hard, like you were telling me.
Yeah, we didn't go to Tamworth this year. We hopefully get a goal to get there
Hopefully
next
year, yeah.
It's trying to, you know what it's like, it's a very busy lifestyle trying to fit everything in between.
Yeah,
So.
but you can't get tired of it.
No.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Tailgate stage last night.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Oh my gosh.
Pull
I'm
your
still on
mind?
a high.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Really was. Yeah. I had such a cool band and felt like a rock show, country vibe. It was so much fun.
Is this your first time playing at CMC?
This is my second time.
So did you play last year or a couple of years ago?
It was my first time playing last year and then back this year. So I just felt, kind of knew what to expect this year and hoped that I could kind of add a few more things that I learnt from last year, and I felt like I did. So it was great fun. Yeah, I wanted, as soon as it finished, I wanted to start again. Yeah.
Was CMC a goal? Is that something from young?
Yeah.
Have you been previously just as a punter or just
No, it was my first time. I always wanted to come, but it always overlapped with something, and so it was my first time, and it was incredible that I got to play, and that was my first time. It was a dream come true for sure.
Because it was funny Wednesday night. There was sort of maybe 1,000 people in, but then last night when we walked in from out like in the camping area, it was packed.
Oh, it's an incredible festival. Yeah, for sure.
It's hot up on stage.
Oh yeah, and I had my jacket on for the first. It was a leather jacket too. And I
Yeah,
had it on for
chopping
like
the heat.
first 3 songs, and then I was like, Dad, just took that off.
Yeah.
This is getting off me.
In a recent post, you talked about a goal to play at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. How was it? Like, how was that whole experience?
Well, like I've been saying, like this year's been full of so many pinch me moments already.
I love pinch me moments.
Yeah.
I always say that word.
Do you?
Yeah. When I interview a lot of people,
it's his catchphrase.
Have you got one right now? No, okay.
Yeah, I do. I was pinching myself when you walked in here. I always say, I reckon that's the best thing ever. Pinch myself moments.
It's so cool, and you really have to like live in that moment for a second. And that's like that happened to me last year, this year here at CMC Rocks, and then of course like at the Bluebird Cafe. I was so lucky that I was in the room there to just be in that room. I mean, I grew up in a small country town of about 600 people in South Australia. So to be here today is incredible. Just to be here to watch the artists is incredible. So to be in Nashville playing at the Bluebird was just something I can't even explain.
Blows your mind sometimes.
Oh,
I think
my
with some of
God.
the stuff we do too, it just blows your mind sometimes.
Yeah.
Like what sort of stuff you can
Oh
end up
my
doing.
gosh,
So.
yeah.
Have you got your sort of next goal in mind? Like, what are you wanting to achieve now?
Well, I'm going to be in the studio, hitting the studio, because I just came back from Nashville last month. So I was writing a bunch of songs. That's where I played at Bluebird and did all that there. So I feel like on a high after all that, very inspired. And then after yesterday performing on that
Even
stage
bigger high.
too. So I'm really feeling good about going into the studio now and working on some new music. So that's kind of next for me.
It's one of the things like when you come to CMC, I know like we spoke to Casey Barnes at Ride and Hearts Festival and he spoke about this little chalkboard. He just wanted his name when he was a kid on this chalkboard and he finally got that moment.
Yeah.
Then you get that moment, then you get to CMC this weekend and then your brain opens up to what else you go, oh, now I've sung here, I got actually an idea, I want to sing here, or they're like the Bluebird Cafe, as Bill said, stuff like that. And you can just build and start climbing the mountain and growing as an artist.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I never think you would get used to it. I don't imagine you would. Like, you would just always think...
I always say to people, like when we started the podcast, it was you're busy, like to start with, but then you just get busier and busier and busier.
And you don't really realize until you like look back. Like I love memories that come up on your phone, and you're like, this time
Snapchat
last year
are the
or
best.
2 years ago or something like that, and you're like, wow, that person would never have imagined the things you've got to do.
The growing up, you were around horses, sort of thing. Was that
Yeah.
something that was so exciting as a young kid?
Yeah, I
horses?
mean, I like looking back now, I never really knew it was such an exciting thing because it was just like my everyday life. So my dad's a farrier now, but he was a stockman when I was growing up. Yeah. So it was just like, you know, before I could walk, I was on horseback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it I love the lessons I learned from that. Like you fall off and you get back on and things like that. I feel like that helps me a little bit when I do a bad performance on stage and I get back on, like that kind of thing. So
typical saying isn't fall off the horse and get back on. Like people say that.
Yeah, exactly.
We're saying like the old man had the cart and that, and then it was saying that
is the family horse Roxy?
Yeah.
Roxy,
wow, you guys have done your research. Yep. My gosh. Yeah.
So Roxy's still around, Roxy?
No, she's not around anymore. But she was like one of our good horses. Yeah, because she was mine, and then I got a little bit too tall for her.
Yeah.
So my dad put her into cart, and we used to go for rides around like 25 Ks, which your bum gets sore.
Yeah, Ben's running it.
Yeah, well that's true. Yeah.
So you grew up in the country, so you're still living in the country at the moment?
Well, no, I wanted to move to a city, just to get more opportunities with my music stuff. So it's been a bit of a change of a lifestyle. I've lived away from the farm for about 4 years now. Just traveling around with the music and stuff. But I'm based like Central Coast, so not far from Sydney.
How have you found that going into a city lifestyle being a country girl?
Oh, I can't drive. I can't. So I've had too many accidents. So.
Perfect. Shout out to your insurer.
I grew up just one road into school. My L's clocked up. The hours for my L's clocked up so fast because it was literally one road all the way into like my high school. So it was like,
It's so exciting seeing artists go from little country towns and then just grow their way out. Like I just said, you've made the goal to move obviously into the city and get into the city and then you grow your art as you go. But back to your home roots, you're always going to be that little country girl from that little country town.
And I got to go home for Christmas, which was lovely, and just like chill out with everyone and stuff like that. And it's such a cool way to grow up though. Like I wouldn't have changed it for anything. It's so
definitely.
Cool. And you guys from small towns?
Yep. Ballarat,
Victoria.
So it's sort of small.
Out of town anyway.
You know what it's like. It's
a cool way
and
we talk about big.
Grew up on the family farm, so
we do making the 8 with all our artists. So we ask them 8 sort of rapid fire questions.
Oh my gosh, I'm bad at this stuff.
You can hold twiggles. What we usually have, it's a bit limited on space in here, but we usually have like our saddle.
We have like a hobby horse.
Wow.
Like a saddle, and we usually have that all in here, but then we didn't bring it from Ballarat because we were sort of like, don't know if we're going to be able to fit it in. So
so the horse theme is running in the...
Yeah, it is.
Is that why you got me on today?
Yeah. This is only just for you. So 8 questions, answer them short, long,
whatever comes up.
Okay. Yep.
Who is your biggest inspiration?
Shania Twain.
Love that.
Great.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Yeah, definitely. What's your coffee order?
Oat latte. Ooh. It's a little bit fancy, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a little bit fancy. It's like me saying I go to Macca's and get a chai latte. People are like,
do you get a chai latte?
He doesn't drink coffee.
You don't look like a chai latte drinker.
I don't drink coffee.
Drink coffee.
I hate coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just like a chai.
You're just a chai.
Little kid. Little kid.
What's your favourite song that you have released?
The last song. It's my most personal song. So it's just my favourite to it just means a lot to me. Yeah.
Is there a verse or a line in your song that you really enjoy that means the most to you?
Yeah, so the second verse in the last song, I say it's very honest, which I think is why it was a really scary thing to kind of put out there, that song, because it's my most vulnerable song. Yeah. But it says, tell your mum I wish her well, time that I stopped telling her myself. And it's just like, I don't know, I just... Like when you go through, because that relationship that I was in was a 7-year one, so it was a long time. Yeah. And so when you go, you're friends with family and stuff like that. And it's just like the last song was like the last song I'm going to write about this situation. Yeah. And it was kind of like tying all the strings and like just ending it all. And so that's really honest. I felt when I wrote that. I was like, that's such a... That hit my heart when I wrote it. So that's probably my favourite line.
What's one of the wildest thing that's happened at one of your gigs?
Oh, a fight broke out once. Like I was performing on the back of a trailer.
Oh yeah.
And people getting a bit too rowdy. The fight broke out and crashed a fence down next to me, and we had to stop for a second.
Shit.
Really?
Yeah, it was quite full on. Yeah.
Did you lose your train of thought?
A country town type thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I stopped, because what do you do?
Yeah, I would have been
you can't just keep... And I'm singing probably a song about, something fun.
Yeah.
And people are...
Blowing. That hurts.
So maybe that was probably the wildest thing.
What did you get in the most trouble for as a kid?
Leaving gates open.
Leaving gates open.
Sheep got out a few times. Yeah.
Done that before.
Yeah. We've all been yelled at for that.
Yeah.
What's your biggest phobia? Probably when your dad says you lift the gate open.
Yeah. My dad.
Yeah.
Biggest phobia. I have a little bit of a fear of snakes. I got bitten by a snake actually when I was a kid. Yeah.
Really?
Well, see, I didn't have a fear of snakes before. I picked it up because I thought it was a lizard, like a skink.
Yeah.
And then it bit me and I had to go to hospital.
Was it a brown snake or what was
It
it?
was a baby brown snake. Yeah. It looked like a skink, but it had no legs, obviously.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so now I'm a little bit like funny with
Won't
snakes.
pick any more of them up.
Yeah, no, they can stay on the ground.
Something about you that most people wouldn't know.
What do people not know? Or maybe the snake story that I've been bitten by a snake.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is
Did
that
you have to get like
weird?
anti-venom and the whole...
Well, no, it was its first bite, so it never bitten before and apparently didn't know how to put venom out into the system yet. I don't know. That's what the doctors told me. So I was in hospital, but they were monitoring me, but it never really like...
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So that, and because when I go overseas to Nashville or something like that, people always like, oh my God, it's so scary, all the animals back in Australia. And I'm like, well, I can't really talk because they actually do bite you. Like, I actually have someone who was bitten by a snake.
That's actually proven.
I literally have the mark on my hand still. It's like tiny. Like, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see those two little fang marks there? I don't know if you can see it. But it's
I
like
thought
faded.
the smallest ones are like the dangerous
They
ones.
are, yeah, because they can't control it. But this one obviously
was a bit
dud.
slow.
Yeah.
This was the runt.
Yeah. Run to the pack. And the last question, what's your advice for any up-and-coming artists?
Learn to love being outside of your comfort zone because that's what I've had to do in the last, and I'm still learning it. But like, you got to love being uncomfortable because you are doing so many scary things if you want to keep getting better.
What's the saying people say? Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. I love when people say that because I agree with it. Like, you rather just put yourself out there and just get used to it.
Yeah, I think well, risk is better than regret, right?
Yeah.
Give it your all.
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
Squeeze. Now you just got to squeeze the ear. Which ear is it?
I think it's that ear.
I think it's that one.
Wait.
Might be that.
You made
the 8.
Yay!
Anyway, thanks for coming on for a chat.
Thanks
Good
for
luck for the
having
rest
me.
of CMC. And we'll catch up again soon.
Thanks so much.
No
Thanks
worries.
for having me.
Beauty.